Donald Bartlett of Grand Forks has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for the October 2024 death of Anthony Kiehl, who was found murdered in his apartment here on Cherry Street. Bartlett was originally charged with murder. That charge was dropped to manslaughter, which he was found guilty of, and now sentenced to 10 years in prison, credit for 409 days served. Another man involved in this case, Nicholas Ryde Arnold of Grand Forks, earlier pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge of tampering with physical evidence, and he received 12 months of probation for that misdemeanor charge. For background on all this, here's our original reporting from the Statement of Probable Cause. Reading from the Affidavit of Probable Cause with the names of officers and or witnesses omitted. Quote, the officer advises that on October 24th, 9:06 p.m., they responded to a 911 call reporting an unresponsive male. The officer advises officers arrived and located an adult male victim with multiple injuries to his head and face. The victim was not breathing and life-saving measures were attempted. Victim transported to Altru and pronounced deceased at 9:54 p.m. Officer advises the apartment complex is owned and operated by the Grand Forks Housing Authority and is equipped with multiple surveillance camera. Officer advises the victim and a male subject identified as Donald DJ Bartlett is observed on surveillance video entering the victim's apartment on October 24th at approximately 6:11 p.m. At approximately 6:44 p.m., Bartlett is seen leaving the victim's apartment. The surveillance video shows Bartlett has an injury to his left hand, which is visibly bleeding. At approximately 7:06 p.m., Bartlett is seen returning to the victim's apartment, entering and remaining inside. At approximately 7:21 p.m., another male individual, identified as Nicholas Ryde Arnold, arrives at the victim's apartment, knocks, and is let inside. 2 minutes later, at 7:23 p.m., Bartlett and Ryde Arnold leave the victim's apartment. At approximately 7:30 p.m., Bartlett is observed on surveillance video returning to the victim's apartment, opening the apartment door and looking into the apartment for several seconds without entering the apartment. Bartlett then closes the door and exits the building. The officer advises a witness who lives in the area told detectives he had been outside the building on the north side of the building at approximately 7:30 p.m. when he found Bartlett sitting at a picnic table. The officer advises the witness told detectives he knew Bartlett and noticed he was agitated. The witness asked Bartlett what was going on, and Bartlett told the witness something similar to he had an altercation with the skinny guy on first floor who came at him with a knife. Bartlett told the witness he had to beat him up and told the witness something to the effect he had to beat him up pretty bad. The officer advises Bartlett the witness told him he had suffered an injury to his wrist, which Bartlett showed the witness. The witness invited Bartlett to his apartment to treat his injury. During this treatment, the witness told detectives Bartlett continued to repeat the story that he had been in an altercation with the guy on the first floor and that he had to beat him up. The officer advises through further review of surveillance video corroborates the witness's information, as the witness and Bartlett can be seen entering the witness's second floor apartment. The officer advises surveillance video further shows Nicholas Ryde Arnold also in the second floor hallway when Bartlett leaves the witness's apartment. Bartlett is seen carrying a towel, which both Bartlett and Ryde Arnold are seen using to wipe their hands and faces. Ryde Arnold is seen using the towel to wipe Bartlett's chest and arms, as well as his own head and face multiple times. Ryde Arnold then uses the towel to vigorously wipe his face, head, and neck. Officer advises Bartlett is observed leaving the area on a bicycle at 8:13 p.m. Ryde Arnold is seen entering and remaining in an apartment here at Cherry Street. The officer advises a search warrant was obtained for the victim's apartment, and during the execution of the search warrant, several items of evidence were collected, including a silver 5-inch fixed blade knife, the blade of which contained suspected blood. Additionally, 2 wooden legs of a coffee table were located, broken off the coffee table. Examination of these legs appeared to show the presence of blood on them. The officer advises an autopsy was completed on the victim on October 25th. Officer advises preliminary findings of the autopsy indicate the victim died from blunt force injury of the head and that the manner of death is considered homicide. The officer advises the autopsy further revealed the victim suffered 3 superficial knife wounds on his neck, right pectoral muscle, and abdomen. Officer advises Bartlett was located on October 25th and taken into custody for questioning related to the investigation. The officer advises Bartlett made several spontaneous statements, indicated what happened was, quote, self-defense, and that the victim had attacked him. Bartlett stated he was trying to stay out of fights because he hits hard. Again, Donald Bartlett now sentenced to 10 years in prison on this Monday, December 8th, 2025, with credit for 409 days served. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNewZ.TV.